Pressure Washing Institute Contractors First. Here with my buddy here, Heath Felps. We also know him as the Admiral. Also wrote the Pressure Washing 101 guide. How are you doing there tonight, Keith?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a busy week, but it's good days.
It is. It's a great days. Heath Felps, guys, this is his 2-year anniversary in biz, guys. 2-year October. So you're actually 25 months right now, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the day in October? Do you remember the exact date?
October 6th, first house wash.
October 6th. He made it through that first Halloween, and he made to make it through a second Halloween. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning here, because you didn't write the book right away, right? We wrote the book almost a year to the date later.
No, the book was written before I ever washed a house.
Before you ever washed a house.
That was my internal notes for me and my company, knowing like the goal was always to expand. And I wrote basically, like, once I had gone several months into the research, I was like, man, I gotta like kind of make this organized, because I was coming from submarines and qualifying your for all your jobs and your watch stations and stuff. You organize your notes because you got to go back and study, and so that was kind of like second nature. And so I just started organizing it, and then I had it as like a free guide that I was just sharing, and you were like, "Oh, you should publish it." And honestly, that was like, it was such an off the cuff remark. You were almost like joking with me. You're like, "Hey, your guide's great. You should publish it." And I never intended to publish anything. The whole purpose of the publishing was guys were sending me money, and it was making me uncomfortable because they were sending me like way too much money. Like I felt a little weird about dudes sending me $20, and then it was like the guys were sending me 50 and 100, and then a guy sent me 150, and I was like, no. Like, and I sent the money back, and he sent it back to me, and he was just like, I'm never gonna stop.
The minute you, because I think you sent me, or you had this actually, I think you had the PDF at the time you had it up. And
Yeah.
I looked at it, and I immediately, because I've been doing this, I'm so old and I've been doing this so long, I immediately knew where the references were coming from. You had gotten them from probably 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different places that you had compiled them. And I mean, and from different, and I knew some of these pictures were from different people in the industry, because I had seen them on my own website that were posted. So, and not that you got them off my website, because they were posted on many websites from those people. You know what I mean? They're kind of in, it's a kind of a reference, and these notes here are a lot of it, and I'm not saying all of it, but I mean, they're posted on several different sites. Yeah. Some of them you made your own, some of them you gave credits to people, which is cool. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I tried to reach out to everybody that had existing stuff to get their permission to include even like their product names. Like I reached out to Craig Harrison and was like, hey, I want to talk about your products in this book. Like, I just want your permission. He was like, yeah, that's awesome. No problem. So, I just tried to do my due diligence and get everybody's permission once I went to publish it. Like, as a free guide, it was just like whatever. But like when I was going to publish it, I reached out to the companies, and then the companies that like didn't respond, that's when I had to like go recreate the wheel. So I wasn't like, taking their like copyright data and saying like, if I could. And then later, it was funny. Like there's a couple companies later that were like, oh yeah, like we would have said yes. And I was like, well, I have no problem adding credit to you, but like, if they had their names all over it, I wasn't going to post it without the permission, because that's their property.
So here's my question, and tonight's kind of like hey, congratulations, you made it you're over 2 years, all the things you've accomplished. I'm going to run those down, but here's a piece of the puzzle that I want to get in first. How does Nevin Shields, and I'm going to put a picture of him up, explain to me where Nevin Shields came into this chronologically. I'm going to put a picture of him up.
So that's actually not Nevin. That's Angel Services here in Houston. That's like, I love that. I love that you just punked Nevin like that on accident. So Nevin started Power Wash Bros, I want to say, right before October. Yeah. Right before October. And he had invited me when there was like I got 100 members, and I was just like, just getting on Facebook. I wasn't really paying attention to anything, and I think he re-invited me when there was like 500 members, and I was like, okay, I accepted the invite.
And you got 25,000 now.
20. I was like, we're just over 20.
20.
So, and then I think we were just over 1,000, and he was like, hey man, I really see you helping people, and I love that you're like kind of level-headed. Will you be a moderator? And I was like, sure. And then this is like the greatest hustle of all time. This is like Nevin like slow rolled me, which I have mad respect for this. Like a couple months later, he was like, hey, I want you to be an admin. I was like, well, like kind of like what I understand about Facebook, like I don't need that authority. Like I don't, like it's your group. Like you should just be the admin. And he was like, no. Like I want you to help me run the group. And I really, I like the example you set and stuff. And you're a good dude. And I was like, okay, and that was like it's the greatest, probably the biggest hustle that's ever been pulled on me, because now I spend a large amount of time like trying to respond to stuff in the group and moderate it. Like Facebook is the wild west of everything. Facebook will moderate it on their own, which is never good. You don't want that. But it's been a really fun adventure. And then I know we're going to talk about later the the awards that we did last year, which I thought was super cool. To just kind of like
the awards was a super cool thing. It was a really super cool thing, and it was kind of a neat little thing. But like, look, since we're here and we're kind of like documenting your 2-year deal here, first and foremost, man, is that I think you take under assumption that people know this about you, and I don't know the exact details, because you're gonna have to correct me on some of it, of course. But you obviously were retired Navy submariner for how many years? How many years were you?
20 years.
20 years. So you're fully retired from the Navy, and then we went ahead and you said, hey, I'm going to start a wash business. Kind of recap, how did that happen? How did you say, hey, I'm going to retire from the Navy and I'm going to start a wash business? Let's hear the story.
So 2012, I was on a honeymoon in Cancun, and I met a guy. He's a chemical, or is it not chemical? He's an engineer in an oil plant. We became good friends. We literally would go back to Cancun every year, and we stayed really close. And then in 2017 or 2016, when he started washing, he was like, yeah, I'm getting into this thing on the side. And I was like, cool, sounds fun. Good luck. And the next year, he's like, dude, this washing thing is crazy. And I was like, really? What do you mean? And he's like, I made $42,000 washing one day a week from March to October. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it's awesome. It's a great tax write-off. I really enjoy it. I work 4 days a week at the plant. I don't do anything on Fridays, so I just wash 3-4 houses on Fridays. I was like, cool. He's like, I've upgraded all my equipment. And then I didn't really think about it. And then the next year, I was like, what do I want to do when I retire? I don't really think I want to go get a job, because there was a lot of offers already. As you approach 20, I was highly specialized in what I did. Like 350,000 people in the Navy, 30,000 submariners. There was only 165 people qualified to do what I could do. So, going and getting like a high 6-figure job, even over 200K starting was easily possible. But I wanted a break from the government industry itself and just to do something different. And I was thinking about it, and it really wasn't like I had to do a lot of searching. I thought, man, that really piqued my interest in a weird way. Like, I'm going to go ask the guy. We're really good friends at this point. He goes, no. I'm not going to talk to you about this. I'm just going to send you my books. And he sent me his books, and I was like, wow, you really are crushing it, And then he was doing all this with word of mouth and no advertising. He's like, I don't want to grow too big. I'm not trying to go full time. I was like, that makes sense. He sent me the website for the PWRA forum, and I did all of my research on PWRA. I didn't use YouTube at all for anything other than like reference stuff. But it's funny, like I never went down like the YouTube rabbit hole. I never found any of the big guys on YouTube. Like, I don't know how. Like, I just never did. Now I'm aware of them all, and I've watched their content, and I point people at their content. But just back then, I just didn't. And then it kind of turned into all from a conversation in a pool on vacation.
So backtracking a little bit, how do guys get a copy of your book, man? I mean, how do they get a copy of the book? How do they get a copy of the Pressure Washing Guide book?
It's on Amazon or it's on my store website now, under TexasPressureWashingStore.com, either one. Typically, if you order from the store, I will unbox packaged boxes and sign it, because I figure if you're gonna order from the store, then I'm at least gonna like write your name in it and say good luck or welcome to the industry or something, because like whether you stick with this for a long time or whether you get in and get out, like it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of grind, and I think that anybody that decides to start their own business, whatever it is like, I feel like no matter how well prepared you are, you're in for like an awakening of like, wow, this is a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, when guys say, well, it's just squirting water, what's your attitude with that now? I mean, it's far from that, isn't it?
I mean, I think it's funny to say that, but it's like saying, oh, you're just a doctor, you're just a surgeon. I mean, come on, like
we just cut people for a living, right?
Yeah, like whatever you do, you can be a professional as the way you approach it, the way you handle yourself, and the way that you like move forward. And I feel like that's just underselling the industry and underselling their own skills, because a lot of people become restoration experts. They move into like niche cleaning and they become extremely skilled and talented in this. And 50-50. Don't take yourself too seriously. It's not, at the end of the day, you do get paid a lot of money to spray water, which is pretty fun. But I think that there's a lot of responsibility here, because most of the stuff we work on is extremely expensive. Like houses are very expensive. Concrete is very expensive and continues to rise in price. And, you can go buy a $250, pressure washer and tear up a $20,000 driveway really quick. So I feel like that I'm going to give. I feel like there's just a whole lot to it. I mean, I spent over 500 documented hours researching before I watched a single thing. And I can't even count. I don't even bother to count how many hours I still continue to learn, and all the conversations I have with guys. And there's no less than once a day somebody asks me something I don't know the answer to. So I feel like if you say you're just spraying water, like I hope it's tongue in cheek, or you're telling somebody don't take yourself so seriously. Like I get it. Like you should be kind of humble about whatever you do, but
absolutely. There's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. So the history here is written down and is recorded correctly. We retired 20 years, submariner. You met a guy that was working in the oil fields. He told you about the industry. That's back over 10 years ago. Well, it's good to know that this is something that you had in your mind and you were thinking about it. And obviously, because a lot of people give you the biggest hard time is that you've done stuff in such a short amount of period of time, and they go, well, he obviously doesn't know these things. And I am no longer a believer in this 20-year mentality. I believe that to become an expert, to really have the knowledge, you really got to have the experience, you really got to have the time. But to be good at something that you want to do, and there's something that you love, and do it really quick, I don't think people take all the other skills in your life that you have brought from that experience, and basically you just applied it to your business. I mean, how much of what you did in the Navy or what you've done in the last 20 years of your life are applying right now into your own business? I mean, what is it? Is it 80% of it, 90% of it, 100% of it? I mean, what do you?
Probably close to 100, because when you learn to when you go qualify and get your warfare pin, you have to understand how a submarine works front to back, top to bottom, and your life depends on it. And that's hydraulics, that's fluid power, friction loss, electrical theory, and I have an electrical background. If I was going to go apply all my Navy college credits to get a degree in my field, it would be electrical engineering. I did not want to be an electrical engineer, and I did not want to pursue that degree. So there's a lot of other things, but I feel like, especially like leading sailors and molding young sailors is like molding your young employees and leading them, and through challenging things like
those life skills and being able to mentor somebody, not the hazing part of the Navy now. But
I got in. We no longer haze.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
There was no hazing when I joined. It was completely done.
I mean, you got traditions even in your own crew, right? Your own, because everybody goes like, when I start talking about organizations, they think I'm talking about organizations. No, your own business is your organization, and you have to adopt it and start thinking of it like that. And you got to start defining what your organization does. I mean, just like some people that maybe they don't understand because the family nucleus isn't what it once was, but you have traditions. Your mom did, she made this on Thanksgiving. She did that on Christmas. You did these things during your birthday. There's nothing really any different in your own organization than you start adopting these things that you do, and they become traditions. And it's a good thing because these are valuable things for your employees to make them want to be team members, to make them want to be inspired to be better. And I think that people also don't understand that you want better people than you. You want smarter people than you, and you want them to obviously use their skills in the business. I got to tell you that one of the smartest guys I ever met was a guy that understood that, and he kind of taught me that myself, where you have to, sometimes people just, you may have them doing this task and they hate it, and I found this out really quickly one time. We had this girl, she was on the telephones, and we didn't have that recording system that they do now. Well, we had developed that technology, and we had her in this job for a few years. And when we got the technology of listening to those calls, we were like, "What are you doing, Rita?" She's like, "I can't stand being on the phone. Why didn't you tell us 2 years ago?" And we relocated her something she loved doing, and it was something really stupid. She goes, those envelope stuffing parties we have? I love stuffing envelopes, so like we found her, like her skill. She wants to stuff envelopes, but it was funny, the calls, like how she was talking to customers. We were like, oh my gosh, and you just gotta communicate with your employees and really make sure they're happy. Because man, if they're not happy doing something at the day's end, it might be a party, but don't think that you got a part. Maybe they can find something else in your organization that they love doing, and you can have them be inspired instead of coming in every day and going, oh my God, I got to get on the phone today and call people I don't want to talk to, And I don't think people don't really understand that, you just got to do that. And getting back to that, that's like, you have 20 years mentoring, like you said, brand new guys in the Navy, and that was what you had to do, because you had to get them prepared for a job. Probably it wasn't shooting water. I mean, if you had to go to war, you wanted to make sure these people knew what the heck they were doing, and you also wanted them to be a team member and you could trust them. I mean, because you were trusting them potentially with your life. I mean. Yeah. You don't want them doing that. But so I just wanted to verify that, because when we talk about Heath's resume here, because I'm going to move on to some of this other stuff. We're talking about guy was in the Navy for 20 years. He started a contracting business. He wrote a pressure washing guidebook that he shared with the industry. He started an org. He doesn't want me to get too far into that. He's been giving awards away to folks. And speaking of the awards, I'm gonna bring that clip up right now, and we're gonna go ahead and play that clip. I'm gonna let's see, what do I got to do here? I'm gonna put that clip. There we go, right there. We're gonna go ahead and play this clip. Him and I are gonna shut up. It's about a minute, guys, and this is a clip of Trudy Wickham from Panhandle Power Wash. I want you guys to take a minute and watch this.
Like, he kind of run wild with some of the stuff, and I thought, that we need to recognize some people. So you guys may have seen that Justin Whaley won our Newcomer of the Year award for 2021, and I flew out to Alabama and presented him the award, which was awesome. I never got to meet him until then. We're both moderators in the group, and we try really hard to keep the group locked down and professional because that's what we want it to be. And we understand that people are going to ask day one questions, but we don't want them to get dragged for that. Like, if you don't want to be professional, keep it moving. That being said, we couldn't do what we do without the vendors, so we just hosted a poll that everybody could vote in, and Trudy was our Vendor of the Year for 2021.
And that was 500 folks, guys, or 400, let's not exaggerate, 425 at Trudy's event. And I got to tell you guys, it was one heck of an event. What did you think of her event? And good evening, Trudy. How the heck are you doing? Surprise. You're here with us.
You got to unmute her.
Oh, I did. Unbelievable. How are you doing, Trudy?
You can't shut up a woman. You need to learn this.
Well, how did you what did you listen to your event and the cheers there? Did that bring you back to those 425 people that were in there?
It was amazing. It was amazing. And Heath, I want to thank you for your service. My brother was also in the military. In the Navy, he did 2 tours to Iraq and the USS Saipan, I believe. Decommissioned. So, and also you guys talking about your history that makes you, and also giving back, making people better than you are. And that's a big, I'm just listening to both of you talk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are inspiring me. Because that's how I think. That's exactly how I run my business. And, the panhandle, I don't know if you know this. I started my job when I was 16 cleaning hotel rooms. So I've been cleaning my whole life. And then went pressure wash for, years. And now did this. So all my background, I was the store manager for a few different retail stores. So all my history also plays a part of what I'm doing. And just listening to Heath, and I'm like, that's exactly the path I went. He did more, obviously military and something way better than I did.
Hey, no. It takes all kinds to. America is not formed only by the military. You can't say it's better.
No, not better.
I volunteered to serve, and I was lucky to be able to do that. I enjoyed it. Great framework, but there's no better.
Okay. Well,
why I brought you in here, Trudy, not because you won the award for 2021, but you just again, congratulations. Heath gave it to you again, 2022.
I didn't give it to her. She earned
it. Consecutive win. Okay. Are you going for a 3P? I mean, that's all. She's going to own the.
She's going for a 3P because of the service she provides.
The most valuable player in the industry. There you go, Trudy. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. When did you have the pleasure of meeting the Admiral? When did you meet him?
I think it was a huge.
No, Marco's event.
Marco's. Okay.
2 years ago.
Huge. Okay. Yeah. We met again there, but yeah, Marco's event is when we actually met.
Yeah.
It was fun because I thought Craig Mickey, he was him. They looked the same. And somebody said, here, I got to give this to Heath. $20. I'm like, okay. So Craig comes in and I hand it to him. He's like, what's this for? I'm like, I sold your book. And he's got me. I'm like, well, take your sunglasses off and don't look the same. I'm like, geez.
There is a resemblance.
I'll take that because Craig's a handsome fellow. So I'll ride his coattails on that compliment. I remember meeting you at the event because you had just started Panhandle, right?
I did. Yeah, I am. We actually had our first sale. We got our business in license January 2020. And of course, COVID shut everything down. So we didn't get our first sale till like June. And that was Shane's mock sale. So we didn't have our website up till June. So we've only been in business about 2.5 years, not even.
Because I remember meeting you, and this was my first impression of Trudy. I was starting to help a lot of people at that point, and I was standing next to you, and somebody was asking for help, and I was looking at my phone, and you said, "What's going on?" And I said, "This guy's asking for help. He needs a part." And you said, "Have him call the store, and I'll have somebody stay late and get it out today," because he was like, could not operate. I think his service cleaner bar broke or something.
Yeah, it did. And I called the store. I said, hey, this person's going to call you. You wait. I said, I want this out today, even if you got to go take it to the UPS yourself. And they did.
And they did, and that was our first interaction, and I was just like, that's legit, because like, you know, you stopped what you're doing at an event, you asked your employee to stay late, you sent your employee to UPS. I've done that at my store, and I learned that from you.
Oh man, I think to stop giving you my secrets. You might win next year.
Right,
I'm not as
right,
good looking as you.
Right down below, we got a couple lucky winners here of the Power Wash Guidebook. A couple of lucky winners.
Nice. I do have them at my store too, by the way.
Yeah. I need to start shipping them to me and then ship them to you. I'll sign them all. Like from Trudy and Heath.
I'll bring them to the event and you can sign them and I'll take them back.
I will.
Yeah, there we go. We'll have you a booth with signing.
Well, that was my first introduction, like really to Marco, to Trudy, and you know, through the vendors are some of my favorite people because they're people that can like dramatically help you on your way at no cost to you. Like a lot of vendors, most vendors will help you nonstop for nothing, because they most of us are contractors or were at some point or still are. And Marco helped me dramatically, and Trudy still helps me to this day. And especially like we play the who has the parts to form Voltron when we like, 'cause there's still a parts issue.
Yeah, definitely, it still is.
And I even told the customers this. I'm like, look, 2 of us have hoses. Trudy has no hoses. She has fittings. Like we're trying to figure out who needs to get what to get stuff to you. And you know, I just want to thank you, Ron, because you invited me to that event, and I got to meet everybody that, like, the wash company wouldn't be where it was without the relationships I formed at that event, and I wouldn't have even had an inkling on how to start a store without the people that I met and became friends with and still talk to every day and work with now, you know.
And that's the part I love. You get some of the vendors, and we're just so energetic. I mean, Marco, I don't know if you could probably give him 10 volumes and he's still going to go, you know, Marco's full of energy. Manatee store is just a huge.
One night he did sleep for 16 hours.
Whoa.
Okay.
Once a year.
But, you know, Manatee store, you know, they got a lot of energy. North Georgia's always, you know, when the hurricane was coming, North Georgia called me, said, if you need anything, let me know. And, you know, the hurricane turned, so it missed us. But he did the same thing to, you know, man, if you need anything, they did the same thing to Lori. If you need anything, let us know. You know, I love the fact that we can work together without being competitors, you know, so.
Yeah, I think you got to work together. I think the silliness, I think, you know, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some too. And you can't let that affect you, because nobody's trying to steal the business from you. Everybody's just trying to win the business. And if they win the business, they won that one this time. You know, you might win the next one. But don't let it spoil relationships. Guys, you shared tonight, asked some questions. We're going to give a random Power Wash guidebook away. And I'm going to give 5 shirts away, guys. 5 shirts, not 1 shirt. I'm going to give 5 away to the first 5 guys that have never gotten a shirt. If you've never won a shirt, message me right now, and the first 5, I'll send them out. And we're also going to give a random chemical away tonight, 1 gallon of a random chemical and a guidebook. But I'll tell you what we're doing tonight. Tonight we're here kind of doing a little bit of an honor of the 2 years of what he's done in the industry. And like I said, been a pretty amazing thing, guys. I did this interview with him at 1 year last year. I wanted to do this follow-up interview. We'll probably do 3 years. You know, hopefully you'll still be around in 3 years. You know, you have a lot of enemies that are betting against you, and that's okay to have enemies betting against you, because sometimes that's what makes us all, you know, makes us all better and makes us want to even strive a little bit further. When you got those haters out there, they can motivate you. Billy Jordan says, awesome. You had a lot of guys on here. I couldn't put up everybody that thanked you for your service, Heath, but a lot of them did. But ask some questions, guys. Will the book help you with marketing? There are some marketing tips in the book.
I would say that's the weakest part of the book.
Yeah.
Especially because I was new and I didn't know what worked, and I didn't try to write about things that were not factual, you know, or things like that. So,
but you got a resource page. Tell them your web address.
TexasPW.com. There's a blog on there with like a ton of free resources. There's a free business plan. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a free Facebook smart ad. That smart ads campaign still works for me. So here's a good example. I taught a lot of people how to do that. It got really saturated in Houston. It was a 21 ROI last year. This year, it's not even close to a 21 ROI. However, it's still a good return. But when I use that campaign for Christmas lights, it's almost like a nightmare. Like our Christmas light requests with that smart ads campaign is just nuts. And so like, it just goes to show you, it's like when you're changing what you're focused on, so maybe for anybody out there that runs a couple businesses, maybe your other industry is not using that tactic and you might get good results. And I mean, I'm a firm believer in you should try things, especially something that's kind of simple like that. Like it's easy for you to set up yourself, especially if you do it like with your webpage here and your YouTube here, and you can watch my walkthrough because it's not me talking. It's my screen. Like I'm clicking buttons and showing you what I set up. And I'm not a marketing agency. I don't have that background. I'm not an expert. I just know that when you spend, $10 a day and you're landing, $200 for every $10 you spend, it's a good ROI.
We got a first weeker in business. Did 3 house washes already. That's good because there's a guy that only did 4 house washes in 6 months. So you're way ahead of it.
You are. Well,
Mark, at the T-Chem event in Greensboro. After that, I started immediately putting everything together. Well, that's awesome, Billy. I'm glad that Trudy and I were there. We can be a part of that, helping you out. That's awesome.
Ron, was that the guy you told him to quit his full-time job today?
Possibly. That's what I tell everybody to do with a full-time job.
Pete asked, does the book talk about finding the right employees? No, really the book is like, a 101 guide about the framework. And it's just the basics of like, hey, form your LLC. Form your LLC, insurance, stuff like that. As far as employees, I would say that that's one of the gigantic advantages that I've had that's kind of like propelled me along the way. The wash company is formed by 99% veterans, and I would say that my store was 99% veterans, and now we have 3 non-veterans in there, but one of them is the daughter of a veteran, and another one has kind of been surrounded by veterans. Another's a brother. I have a veteran that I hired, and I hired his brother, and I did not know they were related when I hired the brother first. 2 weeks later, the veteran showed up to me and he goes, "Did you know he's my brother?" And I was like, "I did not. I did not put together that your last names were the same." And so the background of the veterans is dramatic. I get a lot of retired guys. They get that 20, 25 years experience. It's serious problem solving skills that come in with serious background skills. Like I have the former director of the Marine Corps welding program in my shop. He does not weld for me, but I mean, that's a resource. He does everything but welding because like I've got a master welder that's a 25-year Army master welder. And same thing for the wash company. Like I have 2 Navy veterans that run a truck together. They're engaged. They started together and they're amazing. And I can turn them loose on anything, even new projects. Like we're cleaning mobile drilling rigs right now. And that company just like quadrupled our contract because they said in 8 days, they've seen more from us than he said he'd over his time as that site manager, he's hired and fired over 15 companies.
Heath, I don't want to talk about the numbers tonight. I think we're going to talk about the numbers next year. I think they're going to be a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, well, it's funny.
I think they'll be a little bit more exciting. I mean,
I didn't hit my goal.
Yeah,
I didn't hit my goal this year, and then because I go by when I started. If I was going to go by fiscal year, like I'm going to hit my goal because I stopped my numbers October 2022. I hit 355, and I was like, I was disappointed, but we did hit that big slump of the recession, and then I turn around in the end of October, November, and I'm just like, left and right, the huge contracts that I've been waiting for just landed, and then I smoked my goal. But that's how it's like whatever. You just keep pushing.
That's good. That's good stuff. And I think that if you keep that up and you keep the teams that you got in there, and I always tell people this. This is just a little bit of a thing because Charlie said something about I got a great hiring video out there, and I'm not going to go into that part of hiring, but I will go into this. I had a problem with employees. Everybody's got these are the same problems young business owners have. You have problems with employees. If you've never managed people and you don't understand people, most people have the attitude of, hey man, I paid you to do this job, just do the damn job and shut up. You know what I mean? And reality is this is the thing. I went to my old mammy because he owned his businesses all of his life. And I said, Pops, I said, what are you going to do? I got trouble with employees. Are you going to give me some advice? And he just said one thing to me. This was it. He says, he says, I'm not going to tell you anything because you ain't going to listen to me anything, but I really want you to think about this deeply. Would you work for you? That's all he said. He said, that's all I'm going to tell you. He says, son, you're going to go figure this out. And you know what? When you sit down and you really think about that in depth and you start saying to yourself, will you work for you? You know what the answer was at that time. Hell no, but you've got to be able to really look deep into that and say, yeah, I'm an asshole. I'm not treating people rightly. I'm not treating them right. I'm not paying them what they're worth. I'm trying to, and you listen to these young guys all the time. Well, I want to pay them a little bit of money because I want to make more profits. No, that's not how that works. Hiring and training employees, as you know, Heath, it's expensive. You know what I mean? It's really expensive.
It's your biggest expense.
When you were doing it with the government, it didn't matter.
It's free labor.
but when you actually get employees out there, and now you've got an investment. These people are an investment, and you're putting an investment in them, and you want to get a return. And in order to get that return, it's a long game. It can't be a short game because it costs a lot of money to train people. And the biggest thing is you want to get the right people. Because that's a whole nother thing. And that's why I said, Charlie says, I got a video out there and I can help you find those right people because, at the day's end, it's somebody that's been raised right, because that's really what you're looking for.
Good ethics.
You're looking for somebody that's been raised right. But there are some other mechanics, and I got a good video out there that teaches you how to find those people without jumping through hoops, because when you try to take 200 or 300 applications and try to find that needle in a haystack, it's very difficult. It really is very difficult. And it's time consuming. And I always ask people all the time, they go, Ron, that when I used to give them advice, I tell them, hire 3 people for that one job. But I don't need 3 people. So hire 3 people. You may luck out and find 2 great people and decide you're going to keep them and keep expanding. You know what I mean? And I would always tell them, if you're looking for one person, hire 3. Don't hire 1.
Well,
and
there's also chemistry. And they've got to have the heart and dedication, and also, you've got to make a team. You've got to be a team. You can't be the boss. Like I tell, when I had the internal cleaning, like, thanks, boss.
There's a fine line though. You can't be their friend either.
No. So,
Heath, I worry about you, buddy.
So when they're like, you're my boss, I'm like, no, I clean toilets just like you. The only difference is I write your check. We do the same job. We're a team.
I give up at this point when I get guys that would have outranked me in the military and served longer than I did, and they show up and they call me boss. I just give up. I just give up on trying to squash it. I just am like, whatever, because it used to really bother me.
Yeah.
And then I realized that, like, when a guy that's got as much or more experience as I do, he's my age, he's extremely talented, he's choosing to call me boss. Like that's like he is giving me respect. And I've had one of my really senior guys pull me aside privately outside of work, and he goes, I just want to say that I really enjoy working with you. You're an impressive dude. And I was like, appreciate it. Where'd that come from? And he goes, well, I work with you every day. And he goes, a lot of people talk the talk, and very few people want to back it up with walking it. And he's like, I just see everything you say is what you do. And I like working with somebody like that. That impresses me. He's like, you have my respect. And that was a very big compliment from a guy that, he was an officer in the Army, like a commissioned officer, and had a lot of
Is
responsibility.
AJ your only civilian?
No. So Caitlin, the store manager, was my second civilian. One of my guys that is so talented now, he's probably going to be the next to like take over the build shop, because we're looking to expand to Florida. So I'll probably put Aaron, my most talented guy in the build shop, over.
Okay, you're not going near the Panhandle, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, Pete, get well, man. Get that knee healed, buddy.
Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah, I can't see anybody's comment, so I'm just listening to what's going on. But
Well, AJ he's trying to score some brownie points. He said the pressure washer's killer team, couldn't ask for better chemistry. No, I'm sure it is. We see it every day on the internet. It's living out live.
I want to give AJ a shout out. AJ came in and has been working on a lot of our videos. I've had a lot of compliments on the changes to the videos, because I can shoot videos and educational stuff, but like AJ has a talent for it. Like, he's skilled, and we ran YouTube ads, and our YouTube ad sold our first trailer off of his YouTube ad today.
that's good.
A trailer built. The guy called me and he said hi, and I said, hey, how can I help you? And he said, I want to buy this trailer. And I said, okay, is there any questions I can answer? He goes, nope, I want that one. I said, okay, I'll send you the estimate and you can see the breakdown. And then he accepted it, and then he paid. I was like, how'd you hear about us? He's like, the YouTube ad. And I was like, you're not on any of the Facebook groups? He's like, nope. I'm like, do you have the job flow for this? He's like, oh yeah, like I'm coming from another industry, blah, blah, blah. Like like a guy that had lined up. Because I asked that question. You don't want somebody like, you really ready to spend this money? Like, do you like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, no, like, I'm ready. But it was congratulations. Thanks to AJ. Super excited. He was sitting next to me. So when the call ended, we had a bunch of high fives, and I'm proud of him.
The investment's paying off, man. High five.
Yeah. Well, he's continuing his education too. He's pushing himself to get better and learn. And I have a lot of local small businesses that follow us on Facebook, and they've commented to me personally face to face on our videos. And I'm just like, here's AJ's number. Like, he'll come, he's going to film for Kingwood Taco Shop, which is one of my near and dear. Like, I love that shop. I love the owner. He's a good dude. Like, hardly ever lets me pay for my tacos because we wash his building for free because the landlord wouldn't pay for it.
AJ, share a couple of my TikTok videos. I'm finally on TikTok, man. Help me out, bro.
Blow him up.
Help me out. Did you see my new TikTok videos?
I haven't been on TikTok in a minute. I stay off of TikTok because AJ told me not to post on it.
I got a new thing now. Yeah. I'm going to clean and dirty places. I don't know if the place is clean or dirty. I turn the camera on and I ask the audience to rate whether it's clean or dirty from 1 to 10, and I just do a little walk around. And man, some of them have been bad.
I've seen that you post them on Facebook. I didn't know it's coming from TikTok. I have to go follow you.
Yeah. I've been doing it there, and people are really interacting, and it's easy to get. I've learned it's easy to get 500 to 1,000 hits on those videos, like within a couple of seconds. Now, are they qualified people that we're looking to want our videos? I have no idea, but I'm having a little bit of fun doing it. You know what I mean?
Hey, you're having fun doing it, and because I feel like it's a good discussion point, because instead of us sitting here at a desk talking about jobs, you're out in the field showing people, and they can ask you like how you would tackle that, or things like that.
I just wonder when I'm going to have one of these restaurant owners call me and go, my sales are down half because of your TikTok video.
Tell them, hey, you're trying to explain it.
Yeah. I'm here to win. Yeah, I feel like the team, it's one of those things like guys are like, are you hiring? I'm like, well, no, I feel like I'm fully staffed, but then I also feel like I've learned to not turn down talent. Like True said, chemistry matters. You gotta form a team, and you gotta bring someone that fits into the culture. If they're a superstar and an ace at what they do, that's great. But if they don't fit with the team, then it can disrupt the whole chemistry. So you got to have that balance. And I feel like if you bring in someone new, like we got some young interns, and when they don't all work out, like they did 4 or 5 years in the military, and they did get completely, kind of reformed into the whatever it takes. I'm always going to deliver. they can struggle, and it typically doesn't even like become a huge problem for me. It's just the team is just like, what are you doing? And they're just
I'm
like, what
gonna
do you mean?
solve a future problem for you, okay? Because it hasn't happened to you yet. You said that they all gotta. You and Trudy both go. They gotta melt with the team. They gotta do this. They gotta do that. That is a beautiful fantasy thing, okay? That we could say that. But when you start getting upwards of 25, 30, 50 people, it's not possible. But I will tell you how you fix it. So when these technicians that are oddballs, because your core, yes,
Right.
your core has to work with each other and they have to meld with each other. But when you get these technicians, you start getting more and more technicians, you do got to learn to pair the technicians up
Right.
with their personality types. But guess what? Sometimes you have to have those troubled ones come in at off times to start when nobody else is around, so they don't cause viruses, and they have different start times than other people. That way
Yeah.
they never have to see each other, and you don't ever have any problems, because we all know the technicians, they don't have to see the team. They don't have
Absolutely. I agree with you.
they
And
don't.
we've talked about that. You have to have your core. And then if you want to grow past a certain level, you're going to bring people in. You still can maintain your culture, but not everybody's going to have the same personality fit or things like that, but still be good people and still have
Absolutely.
fun.
They'll work hard. Sometimes those guys that are introverted, that, because you got a crew that's very active, man. I mean, you know what I mean? They're very, everybody's melding with each other. And I can't, the typical, our best washers didn't want to talk to anybody. You know what I mean? They just wanted to wash. That's all they did. They didn't want to have any interactions. They didn't want to collect checks. They really didn't want to talk to the customers. And in a commercial situation, you guys know that you don't have to have that. You don't need that. There's no going up and knocking on Mrs. Smith's house saying, Mrs. Smith, we're here. It's you go to the job. 9 times out of 10 in a commercial situation, we hope the business is closed and there's nobody there either. And they wash it and they go about their merry way and go to the next one. And it's a beautiful thing when you find those type of employees, because guys go all the time, well, I don't want to work nights, Ron. I don't want to work those hours. Guess what? You don't have to as the owner. There's a lot of people out there that prefer that. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that really do. They really prefer not seeing anybody, and they don't like being up in the daytime.
Well, I was referring to more of the store side, to have one of those people in the store. Actually, my whole staff is actually behind the scenes. Have you ever seen any of my guys on any of the videos, except for pulling the red ticket? I had Elvis there, but he didn't want to show his face. He had a mess. And pressure washing is easy to do. Like, truck and go. But
man, I would walk in 2008 when all this started, when everything became really more digitized. And I would walk in with a camera, and I'd have 5 women going, like, with their invoices or whatever they're working on, like there was no getting them on tape, man. I mean, I've got some of those funny videos actually too. They would just never be on tape at all, ever. The only one that did was Leilani. And look, she's still in the industry.
she is
Doing big things.
Yep, F9 running the show. Well, guys, we're 40. We went already 8 more minutes than we were supposed to, Heath, which we probably were going to do anyways. But man, it's a gas. I've got the next one next October. I got it scheduled already. We'll do it again. We'll document the 3 years, and this will be one hell of a journey. Maybe one day you will rewrite this damn thing. Maybe you'll pay somebody to write it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I get a lot of requests. My favorite request, and real quick, I was trying to find you on Facebook, Alejandro Prado. You commented that my book's links were working for you. Shoot me a message with a picture of your book. I will send you the PDF so the links work for you. A lot of people miss that. I have it on the Amazon page. Like, contact me. You can email me and I'll send you the PDF. I send a PDF out 2-3 times a day because people just email me the receipts of the book or the picture of the book. But yeah, the book, people ask me, they're like, hey, I need more. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, because if you got all this completely mastered, you don't need anything else. Like, you're onto not washing books. You're onto business books. You're onto things that I'm not prepared to write a book on. I'm still learning all those things.
Tomorrow night, guys, I will pick one winner for the book. Whoever shares this, ask questions. I'm just going to probably put y'all in a hat. Next week, guys, on Wednesday with Tornabenny, or Tuesday with Tornabenny, we're going to give a $200 cookbook away, guys. And remember, I offered 5 shirts at the beginning of the cast. Let me see if anybody even chimed in. Let's see if anybody chimed in and said they wanted a shirt.
What's up, Darren?
For anybody that didn't want a shirt, I was going to go ahead and give them a shirt. Anybody that didn't want a shirt. Right now, I have only, I believe, one person that took me up on that offer. So there are 4 more open. If you have never gotten a winter shirt, message me on Messenger, and I will be more than happy to send you that. And John Tornabenny's hat, you want one? You got a bunch of them there, or you just want me to tell them? Oh, garage cleaning class on the 19th. Garage cleaning class at Trudy's event on the 19th.
Like I could forget about Trudy's event. Trudy, I can't tell you how often Mindy has talked about this thing. She's talked about like the luncheon you're having for the women, like nonstop. And she's so excited about the whole thing.
Hey.
Yeah. It's like I hear about it weekly. Like,
guys, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. Hit me on Messenger, guys. Hit it in Messenger. I know you 4 or 5 people. I'll probably go beyond 4. You guys just hit me up there. You haven't gotten a shirt right before, we'll send you a shirt.
Jane Gill, Charles Daniels, AJ Joyner.
We will send you guys a shirt. No problem.
Pete wants one.
Perfect.
And pick
Ron,
that.
I appreciate you.
What's the chemical giving away, Ron?
The what?
You were giving away a chemical.
I don't know. I'll give them whatever chemical they want. What do you want? You want to give a chemical away? You want to tell the first person that chimes in that wants what? What do you want to give, Trudy?
One of mine. I don't care. I gave one away.
Yeah, we can give both. We'll both.
What do you want?
Away. Yeah, we both have chemicals in our lineup. Let's do it. That's 2 winners.
There's one winner right there.
LMI.
Message me, LMI. We'll get you a gallon of your choice of chems.
Yep, I got 11 chemicals, I think, right now.
I have, I'm not even counting.
There you go. There's your second.
I have a bunch.
Pick out, depending on what they want, we'll pick it out. There's your 2 winners for the chems right there.
Okay.
Brad, send me a message, man. Send me a message, Brad. And LMI, let's send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and we will definitely get you those chemicals out of your choice. And when I say your choice, guys, it's a choice between a degreaser, a fleet washing chemical, some type of what? What are the chemicals? Surfactant.
Any of the EcoChem products.
Any of the EcoChem, even though they're very expensive.
EcoChem, the F9, Panhandle.
There you go.
Gold Assassin, whatever Heath has got going on.
There you go, some Gold Assassin. Everybody wants chemicals. Man, I should have gave 5 gallons of chemicals away, but we gave 2 away already, guys. We appreciate you guys for coming in tonight. Heath, we appreciate you for doing the 2-year. Congratulations for making it 2-year. We're looking forward. What's the next event we're going to see you at, Heath? Where are we going to see you?
January. Right?
Yeah, January. Unless there's an event I'm not aware of, I believe the next event is the Panhandle event.
Okay.
And then it's up here on the top right if you can't see the January 18th and 19th at the Panhandle Trimming event. And then we were talking earlier. I know that Marco's got his dates scheduled as well, right?
Yep.
Yes.
When is that this year?
8th, 9th, and 10th. 8th, 9th, and 10th of February.
Can I say something really quick?
Really fast.
Okay.
I'm going to let Heath I'm going to let Heath take us out. So Heath, you can take us out after Trudy's done.
I just want a soft prayer. I left Florida at 80 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be 17 and snowing. I am scared. Last time I came up here to see Dad, we got here beautiful. Next day snowing. I don't know.
Did you not bring your bikini?
I didn't. I didn't.
Snow angels. You got a snow angels in bikini. That's a viral
I
video.
I guess you just don't wear anything in the hot tub then, because I mean, there's a hot tub, isn't there?
The hot tub.
You get in the hot tub.
When
it's 17 below, you got to get in the hot tub. That's the best time to be in it.
Walmart has bikinis.
Hey, don't tell people.
Yeah.
Take us out, Heath.
I just want to say thanks for all your help and taking the time. I tell people all the time that you when you feel like you made it to the next level, I feel like it's a good thing to turn around and help the next people. And I don't have all the answers, but as the more I network, it's easy for me to reach out to somebody that has those answers and help somebody. I'm not an expert in a lot of areas, but I have the resources to people that are experts. And I feel like because I continue to be well known and have those connections, I'm very grateful that every single person I deal with, from all the reps at the big pump companies, everybody anywhere, is extremely helpful. And all that knowledge is funneled into whoever is messaging me. And I know Trudy does it. And I know that, every single vendor does that. That's the biggest thing that I'm grateful for, is that I had that advantage when I wasn't a store. And now that I'm a store, I try and continue to pass it on. And again, congrats on Trudy for winning back-to-back. Somebody said, on your own page, she won. I said, she earned it because you set the example. And I'm extremely excited to hand you that plaque again. And I got a post, actually. We're going to do Salesperson of the Year, and then Newcomer of the Year. Yeah, because we did Salesperson of the Year, we did Newcomer of the Year, and I'm open to whatever. Like, we can have another category.
I think you should have worst video.
Goat.
I videos. I'm usually in my hand like this.
Yeah,
I want to win goat, man.
We can do the goat. I'm gonna get a goat. I'm gonna get a goat trophy for you. But no, I just am really grateful for everybody's help. I mean, like, and I tell people all the time, like, this is not, yes, there's hard work involved and effort, but like, gosh, so many people have saved me from making huge mistakes. And I think that we talked about my background. Yeah, my background helps tremendously, but like, networking is crucial. And then utilizing those relationships to ask questions. Like, I've talked about technical stuff with Trudy and Shane for long periods of time. Jonathan has helped me with some stuff with burners, because that's not something that I was super strong on. And he took countless hours to get me up to speed on that, and probably faster than anybody else could, I feel like, because he's crazy knowledgeable. So just grateful. And it's been a fun adventure. And like I said, we've got more stores coming, and strategically, I'm not trying to sit in anybody's back door. That's just that too many people help me, even though it's not everyday help, like to get in somebody's back door like that. That's just crazy. But I look forward to the industry's growth. And if you're struggling to get jobs, just keep pushing. Don't give up. And there's a lot of data out there on Facebook about new things to try. So I appreciate you, Ron.